Welcome back to Workers and Resources. Just as an early heads up, I've added sound alerts. I hope they aren't too loud. They might be a bit silly, but I would like to add a little bit more interaction with stream, and I felt like that might be a thing, so we're going to see if people find them. Otherwise, and we're going to see if they work. Otherwise, well, there might be no effect right now. Guess we'll find out. Anyway, we're back in our republic. Last time, we set up our iron ore mine. Easy to set up, relatively, except for the train connection, which I think looks pretty neat still, especially all the different colored train cars look pretty cool. I also asked in the official Discord about recoloring of already purchased train cars, and they said that you could recolor them, but only in a rail distribution office. And we aren't allowed to have those. So maybe that it will be added at some point, I don't know. It was just a suggestion. Remains to be seen. What are we going to do today? Well, look at our money probably most of the time. Make sure that our logging camp has enough trees at all times. It looks like it does cut trees down across the border. We still will have to go and replant trees every now and then, especially at fast game speeds. Other than that, last time we also set up one oil pump jack, which is filling up one truck. And it is working so slowly that that is actually enough. The price of oil was going down. I don't remember what it is right now. Yep, the game said, oh, you're trying to make oil profit? There you go. It's still probably going to be worth quite a bit. Yeah, that's not nothing, so we'll get some income from it. But we are running foreign workers here, and they are 1,300 rubles per month now. Which I guess is fine. Maybe I could cut the amount in half in each vehicle. I think I'll do that. Tell them to only load 50% of the workers. Yeah, we'll see. If something burns down, it's probably fine. It's only the pump jack that could burn down, I think. Our clothing factory is our main source of income. Need to make sure that we always have enough workers in here. But we have started the construction of the tunnels, so workers might go in here instead of the clothing factory. I'm wondering if I should pause that again, but I have an idea. I tried something out yesterday off stream a little bit. Last time I realized, not last time, but sometime in the early game when I placed these buildings, I realized that you could place them very close together and still get a footpath through that. So that's what I experimented with, and I think we're going to make a very high density urban area, which we will use as soon as we get over onto this side. So we'll have a high density residential area, and then interspersed there will be an open space where we can put in things that we might have forgotten: water, sewage, waste handling, etc. But yeah, I want to try and build not too much horizontal and vertical, but also a little bit diagonal, but still grid based, and I want to try and build as high density as possible. Like window, person shaking hand of the other person kind of close. And I think those buildings will allow us to do that. I also thought a bit about maybe hooking an open storage here, but yeah, I can't do that. I was thinking when I'm doing demolition work and we get steel and prefab panels back, it needs to go back into a storage. So what I would need to do is actually relocate the road cargo station on this side to allow for resource storage, because the vehicles can only push into this building, but the building itself then could push out into an external resource storage if it demolishes something. So for the demolition we would need 2 connections. I think I'll probably demolish this, put the road cargo station here, and then set up the waste storage and the external storage on this side. It's not urgent, but it's gonna happen at some point, especially before we do any large rail reworks, if we have to do them at some point. Yeah, now that we have the Mars 309 buses, we are bringing more workers here. I do want the tunnel, but I also would like to keep some money around. Maybe if we only use our 1 construction office bus. Is it in here now? Yes, this one. Maybe if we only use this one it'll be fine. So I guess our maintenance offices don't really need to build that road right now. We'll disable that road and unassign all tasks. Same for you. So they won't help with road construction right now. All the tunnel construction will be done by only the bus. The larger bus from the other construction office. And we'll have probably a few more workers going into the lumber yard area, the logging area, hopefully. Making us money with lumber and mostly clothing production. We'll see. Our population is pretty stagnant right now, where it is. Yeah, it's 300 plus 34, so it's 10 more births than deaths and escapes. We did have a death spike sometime this year. Yeah. Hello, Stefan. Stefan, can you do me a favor? I have added something. On the right side of the chat is the chat, and to the left of the chat inside the stream window is a button for sound alerts. Can you try and play a sound alert? Thank you very much. It works. Good to know. And it's not too loud. Thank you. I might make it a little bit quieter. I guess I will have to look at it at some point. Good to know that that works. Yeah, they are. I'm gonna make mostly like reaction sounds, like yes, no, and stuff like that, but also a few silly ones. Might make it a little bit quieter. It felt like it was a little bit loud. Down that much, maybe. Yeah, probably okay. Yep, sound was good. Oh, it was good. Well, for me in the headset is a little bit louder, so I guess I'll leave it where it is. Yeah. In my earphones, it's it was like 60% louder than the music, basically. But that's fine, yeah. Thank you. Alright, so we reduce the amount of workers going towards the tunnel construction. And hopefully, well, we might not have reduced it because the bus route is a very short route. We basically consolidated our worker deliveries. We reduced the frequency of the buses bringing workers there, so our other buses might have a higher chance of picking someone up. Since our area over on the other side of the tunnel will be quite high density, we will also need a large shopping area, and I'm not quite sure yet how to set that up. What I will do, however, is I will get the bulldozers over here so I can continue flattening things. So we'll put the 2 free road depots that I need in this area, and tell the bulldozers to head over. So we have them in the area for flattening everything. I also need to go around and clean up my road depots at some point. There's one. I need one at the customs house. We have one that is filled with vehicles. I don't know if we have another one over here. So we have two next to the customs house. We have two with the bulldozers. A third one, or a fifth one that I placed on the other side of the tunnel. That means that two more free road depots are missing somewhere. I guess we're gonna just go look real quick and find them. So these are the bulldozers. There's one over there, and there's one over here. Okay, these are the last ones. And this one has a waste truck in it. For some reason. I tested something, I think, when I said this doesn't need as many trucks, so I could move one over here. This one was probably supposed to handle the waste pickup from here to the customs house. That's all we really need. There's not that much waste anyway. And also I need to rebuild this. But yeah, I can just empty out the storage right now, I guess. Go to the customs house, pick up the last bit of waste, and then if we want to demolish it, it's fine. Okay, I would like to remove the grass that is underneath this bus stop, clipping through. There we go. Well, I would like to get over to this side and start building in this area. We will need a tunnel for this to run it, but to build we might be able to use this road, at least to deliver the resources for construction. But I think flattening the area right now is a little bit more important. And will take a little bit. I mean, we do have 4 bulldozers, shouldn't take too long. Alright. Can I prevent you from going back to refuel? No motor vehicles. Size limit. 5 tons. Recall you. Move you back into storage. Did not work. The other vehicles, however, are abiding by that rule, so we are going to tell you to go into another depot and then go back, and hopefully that will solve that. Okay, we'll get the bulldozers stuck here even if they don't have enough fuel. We'll bring fuel later. Alright. Flattening this area is going to be a little bit of a busy work. So basically I wanted to have another like step over here, which is probably going to be one line down. So if we go from 20 meters, the next step would be 16 meters. Oh no, 60 meters is here, so it would be 12 meters. So it's two lines, two wider lines down, which would be 12 meters. Wait, I'm missing a dark line. We have this one, 20, 16. No, it's 4 meters each. I'm incorrect. I miscalculated. Thank you for the alert, Stefan. Alright, so the general concept is to have maybe a few levels of elevation. And then we'll go down to 8 meters. Actually 4 meters. So we're going down from 20 to 12 to 4. And then flatten out this remaining bit down here. Will give us our 3 steps. And then it goes back uphill. Alright, so and when the elevation turns red, that's probably the most we're gonna do. And then we'll put another level in between here, if we can. Once the dirt road is removed, we can set that up as we want. We could push this out in this direction instead, make a little bit more space here, but we'll see what we get. This is basically however we want to terraform this area. We'll create some terraces and then decide what we want where. I definitely want the heating plant down here, I think, for no real reason. I wonder if there's coal in the area. If we had coal in the area, we could hook it up to... well, we have the coal over here with a very terrible source. And there's the coal over there that we found last time. There's no coal here. There is some coal on this side. So we could have a heating plant on the river, supplied by a coal mine and a coal ore processing plant from this hill in the future. But I think it's a little bit too far away. Probably still might need imports. I don't know. But yeah, once the tunnel has been constructed, we will be able to access this area. And just for the general concept, I'll just place a few houses just so you can see what I mean. I've figured out that this gap between the houses is too narrow. So you do not get a footpath through this. Even if you hit the exact middle correctly, there's no way to get a footpath through this. But if you have them lined up like this, it does work. So this is a footpath. You can't hook up these, but you can hook up this. And if you choose the other middle bit here, it condenses it even more. And then diagonally, I've found out that if you set them up diagonally, it works similarly. So if you place them like so, it looks like there's no room, but actually you can get a footpath through here. And then you can hook up these. So this should make for some very interesting layouts that have a lot of density to it. Maybe a bit too much, but we'll see. I will probably get about the same amount of density of like housing area like previously, but the houses will be much more condensed, and then we will have like a larger green space next to the houses. I think it'll look more like the center of a city rather than this, which is more suburban, I guess. We'll see. Yeah, population is like going up and down over here. We could probably get an orphanage, which might help. just increasing the retention of our population. Making sure that crime does not necessarily mean we will have a reduction of population from the lost children. Other than that, the only thing we could try is increasing loyalty, and for that we need a research. I could go ahead and try and get the secret police right now to institute at least like some sort of loyalty protection. I think I will have to research the secret police as a first building. Yeah, I'm gonna research the secret police today. That means we will have to spend our one and only research point that we have right now on getting the party members ranking into secret police. This does not unlock anything by itself, but the secret police does unlock a building. So the first research has been chosen. Secret police. But first, party members ranking. We'll just put everyone on research. The students that do not finish their education will just move into the Hall of Residence and will catch up with their education a little bit later. Should not be a problem. We do have a 74% saturation of highly educated workers. Should be fine. We're down to below 18,000 workdays on the tunnel. Mining the tunnel out. Slow progress. Hopefully will be done at some point. And on the other end, we're building towards the Eastern Customs House that has a rail connection. And we made decent progress, maybe a fourth or fifth of the current way, but this is going to take very long because of how far the rail construction office is away from it. So we'll just have to sit there and wait. I think we'll wait with planning this out until we have the tunnel. I wanted basically to start with a small settlement up here that will run the heating plant and then add workers to this area. I don't really have an industry plan for this. I think the idea of a food factory or a distillery is probably the right choice. Unless we have a resource in the mountains. I guess the other thing is like more workers in the mine. If we go to the point where we need a second train, then I can probably have a loop back here. So the trains drive through this area, loop around and drive back and enter the area through this, which would turn this lane into one-way lane basically. Part of the passing tracks section. Sorry. I'm getting the hiccups a little bit, I need a drink. So we could increase the amount of workers going to the iron mine, which would give us more income. And we have a lot of capacity, so workers from this settlement just could take a bus to the bus stop up here. So we have something for them to do. It would not just be an expense. And then they would work in here, mostly though in the heating plant. And the heating plant would then, once it is running successfully, we would set up a heat exchanger in Krasna and remove the source of pollution in the area, which probably affects the happiness of some people. And then population growth should probably be restored. But the secret police will definitely be necessary at some point anyway. And we are probably going to go over 2,500 people, so we will be able to get the prefab panel buildings and the monuments with the next settlement, I assume. This area down here is already pretty flat. It's flat, alright. So heating plant with the road connection through here into the settlement. This will need electricity. We will need a high voltage wire going over the mountain, or I'm not going to use underground wires for this. This is a little bit ridiculous. But the heating plant in this area would require us to build a heat exchanger somewhere over here. And I'm not sure if we will need one heat pumping station here to distribute it. And then we will probably need another one. Or if we can make it work by building the heating plant closer. I think I want to use the heat pumping stations just for the versatility of having the connections. So I can combine 2 pipes into one. I don't know what I opened and clicked away. It was behind the window, I just removed it. So we'll have to set up one heat pumping station right from the start. And we can feed 2 heating pipes into that one, and one heating pipe will heat this one, and the other heating pipe could continue into another heat pumping station. And then we could put 3 small heat exchangers around the settlement and provide heating here, I guess. So all of the heating would be centralized into one heating plant. That would be the idea to start. Have some houses, some shopping. Probably a small shopping area, similar to this one. I also found out another thing while I was testing. Something that is kinda interesting. Line spacing on bus routes can be used on industrial routes. It might be common knowledge, but I didn't know this before. So if you set up a delivery route of something, you have line spacing as an option. It only goes away when you set the checkbox of wait until loaded or wait until loaded or unloaded. So you can have line spacing, which might be useful for us, so we have a constant supply route somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where yet, where you need a constant stream of resources. But this could be something in the future. Maybe once we have a 4-lane road, we could have a constant transportation route bringing resources to a place and not caring about waiting until unloaded. Basically setting up on-demand deliveries and then not caring about if they actually unload everything or not. Could make it a little bit chaotic though. I think this is going to be a residential space up here. Then the middle layer might be for the heating connection, the water, the sewage, if we can reach it. And then the bottom layer will be a commercial district where people can hopefully walk to or be carried by bus. Thankfully we can use buses. But yeah, until we start actually building this, and planning this, I want to wait until the tunnel is done. Because if I start planning this now, and then I find something out later that might improve that, I don't know. Or maybe we will have to change pace and go towards the oil instead. If the oil price starts going up again, even though the game tells us that we don't have to worry about it, it's fine, the oil price is very low, see? If we want to export oil, we might have to shift on a dime and work towards the area that does actually have a large oil field. Even at a low price, it still feels like it's giving us a very good profit. It might be worth it just going for the oil field. And there was an oil field here, but we also had an oil spot somewhere in this area. There's one here. There's one here. So we could develop these areas on land first. And all we need is basically a settlement with some things just to keep people alive, and they crew a repair station, they crew a construction office via bus stop, and they crew a fire station most importantly. And then we'd basically be somewhat safe. But I would start that with maybe an increasing oil price. I don't want to build that right now. Guess you know the most iconic sentence Gandalf shouted in the first movie while standing in front of the Balrog? The sound alert fits perfectly to my train situation. You shall not pass, yes. That also fit very well to the situation of the trucks and buses overtaking each other over the bridge, where it was the opposite. Everyone tried to pass each other. Well, basically, they tried to drive around a vehicle that was set onto lines, automatic line spacing. The traffic jam. Yes, the traffic jam of, what was it, 1969, 70, something, I don't remember the date. It's basically a mark in history. It wouldn't have happened with the Bahnverengungsgedenkbrücke. It would not have happened if we still had that one. Definitely wouldn't. Okay, definitely need more workers in the clothing factory. The first purge. Well, maybe you should try and plant some fields. The soil might be really fertile now, I guess. Aldidas is currently not working. Why are we not getting workers? The bus was probably coming here with like 1 or 2 workers. And the construction office vehicle grabbed all of them. The next bus is bringing like 46, so... In general, we should get a decent supply of workers to this area. But yeah. Sometimes it might not happen. We're earning a decent amount of money. It's still slow. We have 3 sources of income: boards, oil, clothing. We have lots of expenses. The highest expense, excluding resources that earn us money, or are construction materials, because construction materials vary wildly throughout the year depending on what you do, is fuel. So the oil export is actually really good. It might be a decent idea going forward, but you can see that the graph at the bottom is slightly going down, so the train actually is helping a little bit with exports to reduce the fuel cost. But other than that, food, meat, alcohol, citizen goods are always a concern. Food being the main one. Alcohol would make a nice export good, because we're barely using it. Our alcohol addiction went down to 40% from 60 after we built the indoor swimming pool, so it helped. I think the main concern is pollution right now. I think we can't really grow the population without causing more pollution, so this is basically the amount of workers we will have for the foreseeable future, and we will have to consider expanding Korasna once we have the heating relocated. This heating plant, the one that we planned out, should be at least like more than 600 meters away, and it definitely is, so we shouldn't run into any issues. And even if we widen this area, by that point, if I have issues with not enough room for the town, I probably have the money to, at that point, relocate the heating plant into this area of the map, hooking it up directly to a coal mine maybe. Or a riverboat bringing in coal to this area could also work. I am considering building a small settlement here just to extract more oil and maybe do some farming. It would be very expensive and I don't think we have the money for it right now, but with the continued income it might be possible. So the money we have right now is insufficient, but the money we are getting should be enough. So we'll have to crawl through this area, go all the way around, then probably come down here, yeah. Enter this area, build the repair station so all of these vehicles can also get repaired. The repair station has a range of 3 kilometers along roads. Yeah, we would be able to reach the fire station easily with a repair station if it were up here. Even if the roads are a little bit twisty. So maybe that's the plan. Maybe the plan right now is a settlement in this area. Which means I have to relocate some bulldozers over here. But that shouldn't be a problem. I don't have to bring all 8 of them. But I think we're just gonna build a new settlement and extract a little bit more oil. The one oil well can run right now, that's fine. But we can have 2 more, I think. And it wouldn't be terrible. Definitely don't want to overdo it and drive down the oil price. We can do that as soon as we have a rail connection here and then extract massively. But for the time being we will have to not do that. I'm gonna get rid of the white sign, we're gonna get rid of the no vehicle sign, and then we are going to relocate the vehicles. They can refuel in this area. There's a gas station locally here too. But let's give them the order command. And the other ones can just refuel. And then drive back. It's gonna be quite a distance though, but it's okay. We'll flatten out this area here, in between these hills, I think. Not as much as we flattened Korazna or the new town. Just a little bit. Get a small settlement down. I'm thinking maybe 250 to 300 people. Maybe with low density housing. Maybe with a heat exchanger from a heating plant to prevent pollution. But if we have that low amount of workers, the heating plant shouldn't spew out that much pollution anyway. And then yeah, fire station, repair station, construction office. For maintenance mostly. And then work towards 1 or 2 more oil pumps. And hook them up in the same way as this one. And they would also need to supply workers to this fire station because I want to save a little bit of money. We did reduce the amount of foreign manpower, but not by much. It will be lower during winter when the vehicles can run only at a slower pace. But we should still be fine. I'm gonna put a name tag here too. Okay. I like putting name tags everywhere. You just look at it and you know, ah, this is this, this is this. Looks pretty neat. First research is done. We increased the amount of students inside the Hall of Residence to 25, with the oldest person only being 26. I kind of want to finish the research right now and build this. And that's why we are going to do that. Everyone research. And then after this is done, the loyalty requirement will only be 30. We do have higher loyalty, but I don't want to only make our most loyal citizens perform these tasks. I want to just exclude anyone who might have a university education and was recently released from prison when they have really low loyalty. So this is basically the goal of this. Push up the average loyalty of our education system by cutting off the lower end. This should allow most people to still perform education tasks if they want to. And I think we only have 2 buildings, the school and the university, so we should be fine on that. There's our bulldozers. And then we'll build the secret police, which will take more workers, but we can reduce that to like 5 or 6 workers, so in total 18, less than 20 workers per day to run it, and I hope it will have a nice effect, because I'm still not sure, but I think like some of the escapes that we are experiencing might be from like low loyalty citizens giving education to people. I'm not 100% sure on that, but this could be a reason. Low government loyalty is the main them there might be a reason for it. Culture being the second one, but we can improve that by having a few extra workers in the museum. Making sure it doesn't run full on people, and then they can still... Oh, I think the issue is that this building might not be able to walk there. No, it is able to walk there. Because we don't currently allow passengers onto the bus stop, assuming that they can get everywhere. I will just enable that, and then we can see if anyone here has a specific issue. But it is mostly praying. It is exclusively praying for all of them. Current demands at 0%. It's all praying. Our attractions only work during non-winter times, when we have at least a few degrees above 0 Celsius. The only attraction that we do have that does work is the museum, but I guess at some point they do get sick of it. So they either get culture or an attraction demand satisfied in that building, as far as I understand. And if you have a good diversity of buildings, you can probably fulfill the demand for praying with a lot of other buildings. So you can see second line from the bottom, attraction type museum, attraction score 3.2. Attraction type is what matters here. If it says it has an attraction, then I think it can serve as a substitute for praying, but I don't think you can just have one building and everyone stays happy. The cinema has a lot of capacity for acting as a culture building, but it does not satisfy anything else. And I chose the museum because it required the least amount of steel to build, even less than the cinema. Only a third of the amount. So this is my go-to building now for providing culture in small settlements. Even though it looks a little bit too fancy for that, it does still work. So we're skipping this area that I wanted to use initially for farming, and we're moving straight over to a settlement over here. We do have a customs house where we can draw resources from, and the export of oil will go to the eastern border instead of the west. But as long as we're making a profit on both currencies, and we have enough money to pay back our loan each month, we should be fine. Hopefully we don't have to take out another loan soon, but we might have to, because, well, the construction of a settlement is always a little bit expensive. Should be fine though. I did hook up a power line here directly. We could do that for this settlement too. I'm not really in the need of setting up an electric infrastructure. I guess what we could do is just set up a medium voltage switch directly from the customs house. Hook everything up here, and in the future we'll set up a high voltage switch with a transformer and hook up the medium voltage switch to that transformer. But for the time being, I don't think we need a high voltage line in that area. It doesn't make any sense. We don't have that much demand for electricity. $2,600 tons, 1,000 ton, 800 tons, and 5,000 tons. So the amount of lumber is still pretty much spread out. We did replant a lot of trees here. We still need a technical university. Research is 1/3 of the way done. And yeah, the students will just have to wait. Thankfully they have a room to wait. So we won't lose the education. Although I could just say, scratch that, we already have 77%. You move out and work. I think I'll do that. We don't need any students right now. Waiting for their education. We have 75% higher education workers, so it's fine. So the students still studying right now can finish their education later. That will be good enough. This will also give us a few extra workers going to our current work sites. Less than 17,000 workdays for the tunnel now. Still taking quite a while. The secret police will need a road connection, so we'll have to find a location for it. And it will need workers. It might be over in this area with a road connection behind the prison. I don't see any other area, unless I wanted to build it here in the residential area. I don't think it can fit in this location. We could probably build it in front of the bridge, but I don't also want to modify the terrain. The last option would be behind these residential buildings, I guess. Or down here. We'll find a place, that's fine. Oh yeah, and we're still continuously spending money on rail construction. I think I will start rebuilding this area so it's less of a problem if we do another demolition task. So we'll bulldoze this, we will build the road cargo station in this area instead, and then rework this area for resource storage in case we do demolition. There's some construction waste in here, other waste trucks can basically pick that up. I also learned a trick for bulldozing things that... Oh wow, you could cancel the bulldozing even with waste still inside, that's new. I found a trick of bulldozing things without the confirmation window, because usually you go here and you click OK. If you just hold Control while using... I don't know if it works with other tools because they usually don't ask for confirmation, but if you just have the demolition tool and you hold the Control key, it doesn't ask, which is very convenient. That will make it really easy if you're placing down a lot of white blueprints that are buildings and you change your mind and you want to demolish all of them. Just hold Control and go through all of them. I don't know if you can mouse over things and it will multi-bulldoze. Let's try. So if I hold down Control and I just click here and yep, okay. You can just click and hold it. Also works. Did not accidentally bulldoze anything else. See, there's always something new to learn. We will have to move our vehicles out of the road cargo station, because this one will also be demolished. But oh, wait, no, we don't have to. We will build the new road cargo station first, relocate all the vehicles, and then rework this area. That makes more sense. Then we don't interrupt the construction tasks right now. So this can be done over time. And I think we'll also have to remove the road, but yeah, let's do that right now. Let me get the demolition office up and set it to a search radius of 3 kilometers so I don't have to manually assign things. There we go. Anyway, while that's ongoing, I don't know what else to do right now. I'm basically waiting to actually earn some money. I would like to funnel more workers into the iron mine, but we will use workers from the other mountainside basically. Also giving us the option of having a cableway station here in the future, so we don't need buses. Electrifying our road network in alternative ways. Yeah, I guess the bulldozers might be getting closer to where they're supposed to be. They have arrived. Excellent. Now the bulldozers themselves can't help with like placing roads, but they were basically intended for flattening some of this area, which we hopefully can get to now. It is quite far away. I'm not sure if we are in range. We are. We only have half the bulldozers, so it's gonna take a little bit. But yeah, I don't want to excessively flatten this area, just enough to start the settlement planning. and look for the way we want to build the road into here. So the road will have to come down this way and then into here. And I guess we do need an excavator, so I can flatten this on placing a road. So in advance we will relocate our single excavator that we had from East Germany into this area, which isn't doing anything else right now. And I guess we'll relocate it by carrying it with a truck, otherwise it's going to take ages. Don't need a transport route for you right now. I'll just move the vehicle here. And then we can definitely snake through the mountainside. Get the road connection in place and plan out a settlement over here, which we will build with US currency. Oh, wait, oil price going down even more. The game really doesn't want me to build something here right now, it feels like. I still think that our fuel consumption is going to go up and it's going to be worth it to have this. So at the very least we will plan out the connection into this area. And even just building the town and running the fire station over here with our own workers would probably be worth it. And at the very least automating the repairs in the area would deal with helping me deal with my sanity. Because I don't want to manually move the vehicles into the repair station. I already have to plant trees every now and then, which is already a little bit annoying. So a repair station in this area will definitely help. And we'll build that over here as close as possible. Not on the mountainside, but over here. As close as we can. So yeah, I don't want to flatten this too much. We'll just get a slight red elevation change here, but not too much of a slope. And then we have options of expanding this. And the road will come down here, flatten this down again, and just go into this area. Into a small bus stop. And from the bus stop itself, we can head down into the area that contains the oil. So, road comes down here. Bus stop. Malka. Next to Molnar Customs, no. That looks a little bit silly. We'll cycle through a name. Kolata, sure. Kolata is fine. Molnar next to Malka Malka next to Molnar Customs would be a tongue twister that I couldn't deal with right now. So we'll skip that. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go for low density housing. Low density, low quality housing, probably. Like the cheapest quality. I don't know if they're the cheapest. But they are the... not the lowest capacity housing, but they do require less materials for more people. I think they're the lowest quality housing that we can get in this area. And we start trying to build a settlement based on that. Excavator has arrived. So let's see. I think all the way over here at the border. I guess maybe we could go up this way. And then along here, past this mountain. Could also cut through the mountain, but this is very steep. And we come around here into the settlement. So we'll get our connection of the intersection. And then either around here or around this side. here. I really don't need to flatten all of this. But I guess maybe it'll reduce the bumps a little bit. Alright, there we go. Road connection for Kolata has been planned. Now we will have to build all of this with manually assigning the construction offices because they are too far away, I would assume. So we'll turn all of this into one construction task. And then get this upgraded to gravel. And then also assign it. Okay, we'll have to plan out the settlement. This demolition is ongoing, very nice. Working as intended. The road has already been demolished. As soon as this one has been completely cleared, we can basically place the new road cargo station. Probably behind the power line or over here next to the road with the factory connection going through. Underneath the power line itself. Okay, so basically setting up another settlement, like usual. In this case, we need to make sure we take care of a road cargo station. Well, I guess I could, compared to our previous settlement, I could make the road cargo station the central piece of our settlement. We have 3 vehicles in here, and well, I guess we do have 2 vehicles in this one, which is a bit too much. I think we might need 2 road cargo stations again, but maybe we can place them closer to each other. Like so. And then have the shopping area here, have a footpath in between them, and have the repair station on the other side. Make it look a little bit more organized, even if it isn't. I will need to calculate if they can reach the fire station, that is the important part. So I'm gonna redo the measurement just approximately along the road, because it is not as straight of a line as we had before. .3 kilometers should be plenty for the 3 kilometer setting. If we build the repair station over here, we should be fine. I do wonder if I should have a warehouse for the repair station, but it looks like it's working fine the way it is on the other town, so I guess we can omit that. I'll turn this into an appropriate area, I think. Road cargo station. Like so. I don't think we're gonna hook anything else up to it, but just in case I'll leave the other 2 connections on the top free. And then we will have our other road cargo station next to it, with a footpath going past. Just in case we want to have people walk through there. I guess we do have enough space in there if I just eyeball it. I believe. Yeah, that looks sufficient. I just need to get the Middle point right. And down here will be a road. And there we go. That'll be our repair station. I don't plan for any buildings to be around the repair station. I guess I did interrupt the construction of this when I split the road up, but so be it. Yeah, I don't think the technical service or anything else will be in range. That will just have to be repaired by a vehicle traveling to the other building. If we get a technical service in the area that is still open. Then on the other side, over here, is our shopping center, which is gonna consist of a grocer and a small store. We'll also leave these factory connections open just in case, I think. If it allows us to do that. Probably not. Yeah, I'm not sure how to connect that and make it look nice. Can interrupt the construction of this, but I'll hold off with placing any of these down. So this is going to handle food, clothing, alcohol, and meat. Not alcohol, food, clothing, electronics, and meat. Alcohol is still open. Will be somewhere over here. The heating plant probably will be over on this side, maybe. With the town potentially developing down here. So right behind the repair station. And everything will have to be in range of the heating plant again, as per normal. I guess we could put it behind the repair station over here. I'll plan that later. I'm gonna take care of the secret police right now, I think. We will build that as a new building right away. So I was thinking either here or here. It is smaller than I anticipated. So we can actually fit it right next to our residential area. The other option was over here, but yeah, if it fits next to the residential area, we will just build it here. And allow worker access via footpath, I guess. This looks a little bit wonky, doesn't it? Just a little bit. This matches. Okay. Secret police time, Soviet. Citizens must be unhappy. Yes, they are. Low government loyalty is a concern for our citizens, so we are going to deal with loyalty issues. I guess we're just gonna eyeball this. Keep it about centered. I think we'll set it up like that. And get ourselves a secret police. Probably only 5-6 workers maybe. They shouldn't be overly busy with this area, but if they can't get the loyalty of every citizen consistently revealed, then we'll increase the amount of workers after that. And this might deal with some loyalty issues. Right now we might have a few dissident elements trying to give education to our citizens and succeeding. So we'll have some work to do. Building itself will be able to refuel at the existing gas station. And all we need is a vehicle or two for it, so that our workers can work and perform their duties. That's not gonna work. Never mind. We have a lot of workers in our kindergartens right now, which might not be necessary. But in total we still have fewer than the amount of children we were taking care of, so I think we'll be fine. Probably best to be well prepared. Alright. While this is being built, I'm gonna go elsewhere and get a notification once it finishes construction. I guess. We can use the maintenance officers to help with construction in this area. I just had to assign the road construction, so I don't want them to help with the construction of the tunnel. since it only requires workers, and we want our workers to make money first and foremost right now. Alright, so over here the potential for a footpath does exist. And then we can hook that into here and have a footpath go wherever. So we could have probably the heating plant in that area, what I initially said. And the heating plant road cannot go through here, but it could come around and connect in behind the repair station, which we would do once the road construction has been completed. So I will have to flatten this out a little bit more to make room for the heating plant. But we'll have plenty of space in the area, so this is not a problem. And then yeah, we have a footpath connection over here if we want to. Gives us options, gives us room to hook up heating connections if we want to develop this further. But as I said, I think it's going to be a low density residential area with mostly probably 300 people. Just making sure that the fire station is always occupied and we don't have to import, well, not import, but hire foreign workers all the time. Speaking of foreign workers, we probably need to set up the fire station first and run it with foreign workers before we start constructing any of this. And this too should be able to, well actually no, this one does not need to reach over to the other fire station. Maybe we're just gonna tear down this whole small single. Yeah, we're gonna tear the other one down once we have everything in place and just focus on high volume from the efficient pump jacks. So the fire station does not need to reach anything over there. Leave a little bit of room for the potential of a footpath here. We'll hook it up on this side. And this one is one we can already build. And once the fire station is in place, we also need a gas station to provide fuel. But for the time being, they can refuel at our existing gas station over here. I guess we need to make sure that this gas station is in range of our fire station. But then again, no, gas stations do not burn down, do they? I think the gas station's gonna be fine. I think gas stations are safe. Otherwise there could be a very quick catastrophe happening if that one were to burn down in a new settlement. So fire station, and then at some point the road over here looping around, and we had a bunch of pump jacks, which hopefully our settlement isn't too close to. There's one already on this side, so we will have a little bit of pollution being generated in this area. With the heating plant over here, that could be a problem. But then there's, well, that's not really high. 50% is nice, but yeah, over here 72%, 75. More over here, and then if we flatten out the terrain or raise the terrain of the lake, we can get some oil from over here. So we might omit the first source, just to not pollute our citizens too much, and then hook up 2 pump jacks that are put on a higher quality source. We also need a sports facility for that few people, I think I'm just gonna do with an outdoor pool. An outdoor... I guess an outdoor pool would also work. But just an outdoor sports facility would be enough. I don't know why this one requires heating. I guess for the building. Only works when it's 15 degrees anyway. So, sports facility, culture building, clinic. I don't think we are going to need a university. I think with the Hall of Residence, the people from this area would probably move into the Hall of Residence and then move back in here when they received an education. So we're going to check this and see if the education will propagate into this area without problem. With our existing setup. Receiving the construction materials. Building itself does not take too many materials. If our large trucks get involved, they will be able to get those very quickly. I might relocate our free construction offices down here. Why are you not removing your waste? The singular waste truck that we had, I want to move that out of this area. Wait, that's a snowplow. Do we have 3 vehicles in here? No. Where did the other vehicle go? This one. Stuck inside the customs house for some reason. And I don't know why. Oh no. Now it's moving. Okay. Well, can you unload the waste? Wait until unloaded. We need to refill this gas station too. You are basically going to handle that. Make sure this gas station is refueled before you do the rail construction office. That's not bad profit. 8,000 it looks like. Price for boards. Steady. Not dropping, not climbing, just holding, which is fine. I don't know where the waste truck went. I have no idea. Baraslav Customs, yeah. This is not this one. I don't know what you were trying to do. Anyway, since you're already here, what I wanted you to do is move into the free demolition office and help over there. Since it looks like our trucks are incapable of unloading their waste correctly. So you can stand around in this one too. Can't really force empty them out. Waste is stuck in these vehicles. Does this work? Okay. Go back to the demolition office then. And set the other truck to unload itself too. You are supposed to go here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they aren't unloading correctly inside the demolition office. Something weird going on. Anyway, go back to the demolition office and maybe it'll work fine now? I don't know. We can build the road cargo station now. As soon as the waste truck arrives and picks up the last bit of waste from within the previous waste storage of the rail construction office. I might redo this power line too, a little bit, actually completely. Nah, we'll be able to place everything here, I think. So either we have the road cargo station next to the road, and then the factory connection going in between here, but that seems unlikely. So probably something like this instead. We don't really have a way for the gravel to get out of a demolition. I don't know if we get pure gravel out of there or not. Gotta go now. Have a nice stream. Thank you, Stefan. Have a good stream yourself. No excavator free right now. They're all doing the groundworks of the secret police, I would imagine. Actually, they're not even assigned. And they aren't here. So one of them is building the road leading towards our new settlement, and the other one I don't know. And the third one is inside the demolition office. Guess we'll just have to wait. So we can't really save gravel. The gravel storage is full. We basically have to micromanage this. That's annoying. I think the large rail construction office might not have that issue, does it? It has a gravel output, so this one would solve the issue. I guess we'll wait. We won't do any more demolition with this. If we have to do another demolition, we will have to build a better new rail construction office somewhere. I guess this town was also supposed to handle the future rail construction. Yeah, I guess we'll keep it demolished. And if you do have another demolition task, then I guess we will have to reattach the waste storage, but I would prefer to set it up properly with the new rail construction office, since it seems like we will have the option to also get excess gravel out of here. And then attach an open hull storage and open storage to make sure we can reuse our materials without manually intervening. Okay, so I guess we'll just wait for the groundworks of the secret police, wait for the building construction, and then just start running that one. We could transfer some rubles into US dollars right now, which wouldn't be bad, but we do need some rubles at some point. Road construction, not too slow. Almost halfway done. Then we'll get the fire station. High priority. Build towards the bus stop, and then plan out the rest. Heating plant, shopping centers, pub, clinic, probably a side road off somewhere into the area with the clinic and the pub. Loads of footpaths. Make sure they can walk everywhere, not having to walk along gravel roads. And after everything is in place and we have our fire station running with people living in the area, we can set up the 2 pump jacks, which is just going to be 2 pump jacks plus a power line and some trucks. And while we do that, the tunnel is being continuously constructed. So maybe after that settlement is done and we have a little bit of income in rubles from oil, we can use that either with transfers of aluminium from the east to the west, or just by keeping the money around and using it later, fund the construction of our first settlement across the mountain. Increase our production of the iron mine. We can definitely do that right now. Not many workers going up there. And also relocating the heating plant, as I said. Oh yeah, I guess the excavators might have been busy building the footpaths. That could also have happened. Students, it's a bit much. But when we were researching, we basically also had everyone who was trying to study from the age of 16 to 20 on hold. So they might have reached the age of 20 without any education progress. So we now have to basically catch back up and make sure we get some of them, give some of them the higher education that they need. Level is still fine at 74%. Actually, I could cancel all of these and it would not matter. It would actually be better to have extra workers right now. So we'll just move them into houses. Rail construction wise, our rail construction office will have to build a train line. We might have to get an early tunnel boring machine. Unless I get a rail line through this area. And then connect from this side. Might be easier to just build the rail line over here and bore a tunnel through the mountain. Tunnel boring machine is very expensive though. Maybe the oil can fund that. If we have another source of income in the volume of 2 pump jacks, that might be feasible. Yeah, I'm much happier with fuel running vehicles, less frequent exports than having a shorter train and it's running more often. It would look nicer with lots of trains running around, but this is more efficient. I think. Less wear and tear because the train is running less frequently. And better fuel efficiency. And our clothing factory should also still make us a lot of money. Probably still the main export good that we have. Clothing, 111,000, followed by 60,000 for boards and 54,000 for iron ore. So you might say why I'm not going to go more for clothing. Well, if I go more for clothing, then the clothing price is going to drop. And I think having a diversified export economy is probably for the best right now. If we do get another research, and we have finished concrete and the big monuments, we do want to get the education for only the most loyal citizens at some point. But that's in the far future, after we actually have a technical university. Let's say our heating plant over here. We built the housing 300 meters away, we're probably going to be fine. Depending on what the range for our heating plant is. This will do nicely. The further I build away from the heating plant, the less efficient it will be. But maybe we're going to work with heat pumping stations from the heating plant, just to get that little bit extra range. Not at the beginning though. I want this to be up and running as soon as possible. And since I am planning to go with low density housing, it might be best to keep in mind that we might get outside of the range of the heating plant at some point. I don't know if I can put these in a very high density configuration. At least not with grid snapping, maybe. I haven't tried. It's... okay, this is a little bit too much. What about this? This would be fairly high density. I think I've built it like that last time. And yeah, you could have lots and lots of houses. And then diagonally, similar, probably. I don't know why it spins these around sometimes. The rotation isn't correct when you press the R key sometimes. Yeah, this will also work, as long as I'm not too fast with the mouse, so we can have a lot of density with our buildings while retaining it being low density. And then occasionally we can omit one building to put a waste storage in there, or maybe a monument. Or maybe a green space in between. We'll have to see what we can come up with, I guess. And then try and get a setup for the housing in the area. That doesn't look too grid-like, even though with what I've just shown, it was pretty much a grid. I'm gonna design a layout before I start laying down the housing this time and see how it looks. Maybe we'll wait until it's not dark so it's easier to see. But yeah, I think if I do this and try and stick to that, it would force me to basically not build in too much of a grid. We will still have some grid-like elements, but it will probably look okay. So, okay, this is... This feels like... Right. I wanted to build in the middle of the houses, not... Now this is lower density. Well, I guess it's fine. We can not put these too tight together. We can just leave a little bit of extra space and still be happy. Diagonally it works fine. Well, mostly. Yeah, if we can't put it if we can't put the footpath at the middle, this is really not that great. Maybe I should just plan everything out diagonally and then occasionally have a straight, the grid following footpath, and then I can make sure this one is in the middle. So basically we're going to set it up somehow like this. And then if I wanted to go for a middle area, I would have to work a little bit to achieve that. This is way too narrow to have any housing, but the general concept seems to work better that way. And this will have to be in the middle, so this was already incorrect. Leave this area for a small screen space, maybe a fountain, maybe something. and just try and develop a village based on something like that, with not just straight lines now, but yeah, we have to basically find a way to get out of this layout now. And over here we can have housing closer to the footpath. I think that'll look better. Maybe if I had curved footpaths that were like more curved, it would look even nicer, but I don't mind the look of this. Slightly offset, not too monotonous. As long as we have heating in the area, we should be fine, but I guess I can also drop a heat exchanger over here, somewhere in this area. The option is open, just putting a small heat exchanger over in this. And then we're slightly further away from the heating plant, which might actually work to our benefit. And the road will have to go past this area down here and then go to whichever way we want to hook up an oil deposit. Yeah, that will give us a lot of space for a settlement. Road connection down there. And then more space for the settlement over here, basically developing around this. A heat exchanger. I guess we could use an above ground heating pipe, since we don't have a lot of heating being piped through this. I guess that makes it more vulnerable to losing heating. I'll stick with underground. Okay. And our citizens will basically require access to the bus stop. Have our footpath connections available here. And we'll have to do the same thing on the other side. And then they should be able to walk around the bus stop, I would imagine. Range is good. A small store is not accessible by anyone just yet, but that's mainly because there's a bunch of dirt footpaths. Alright, secret police is up. Apparently I built it outside of range of electricity, but that does matter, right? I don't know if it matters. I think they don't require electricity, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll get two, she said, M21s. and see if they can operate, or if they require electricity. Well, I'll be dead. Well, I guess we could just have another wire. In my wise foresight, I left one connection open, which is really unfortunate to use for that. We could just relocate our existing wire. No, we can't. Or we could move it a little bit down and then everything would be in range, but alternatively we can just connect both of them, since they will both use the same electricity. We don't have an increase in demand of electricity in the area, so we could share a wire between the two of them. I'll just hook up another underground wire, that'll be fine. Maybe we'll have a little bit more settlement up this way. Do we need electricity or not? Will we start learning about the loyalty of our citizens? It seems like they might not need electricity. Nope, don't need electricity, then I guess we're fine. It might just be for the refueling, but the building will also be blacked out, darkened out during the night, so gives it a little bit more of an ominous look. One vehicle just unlocked. I didn't see it, but just to make sure it wasn't a cargo wagon for waste, right? We don't have that in the west at all, because it did not show up as a vehicle that could become available. And on the eastern side, there might be a better waste wagon available at some point, but right now there isn't. 10 meters. Okay, so our secret police is working. I don't know if electricity plays a role or not in how long we keep the loyalty around. It's already gone. It might be necessary to give them electricity. I'll just build it. We'll get that in place, and maybe it improves the efficiency or increases the duration that our secret police staff will retain information. Also, setting it down to 3 people was a little bit low. Maybe that also had an impact. But yeah, we'll just provide some electricity here, and I guess we could use this area for more housing if we want to in the future, once we have a large heat exchanger or 3 small ones in the area. Because once we have 3 small heat exchangers, we could spread out the area of our citizens a bit. Although that might be a bit difficult, because we might need more shopping centers for food. And that could make it difficult for us to get more vehicles for that purpose. But if we have like shopping centers on the outskirts of our settlement, we can probably just use our existing vehicles and tell them to deliver food there first and then go to the main building. Food-wise, we probably would need another truck, but thankfully our road cargo station has room for that. So yeah, maybe another grocer somewhere here. There was also a depot planned in the area with maybe a repair station. So depot, repair station, water, sewage up here, and maybe a few houses with a grocer. Have the grocer next to here so they can probably walk from the grocer to other areas in the town. I don't know. I am not sure yet. Yeah, population is basically staying stable. Even with the free flats that we still have, it doesn't want to grow. Maybe with the secret police now we can reduce the low government loyalty effect. We'll see. The indoor pool might be a congregation point of people talking badly about our republic, so I will build a monument next to it, just to remind them of how great our nation is. Don't bulldoze too many plants. Well, since you already did that, I guess I can build you closer. And then I guess I can just build you over here, and then we will bulldoze the other 2 bushes. Okay. I mean, we're doing construction work. Money is dropping because we're not fully repaying our loan because of it, but we're still making money a little bit. How far can you reach? 65 meters. That will be in range. At 60 meters. We'll be fine. Shame that this one doesn't cover it, but I guess it is what it is. If I were to increase my population over here by building more housing, this one would probably be outside of the pollution range, but it would affect these people more. So I believe our population might go down. Especially since this house should grow in population, since the average lifespan isn't negatively affected due to pollution. I don't know. They might just be a little bit fussy right now. But our happiness is going up just a tiny bit. Because we're actually paying attention to the loyalty of our citizens now. And we do know where our very disloyal citizens live. And by very disloyal I mean like a few percentage points off. But still. 4 more prisoners will drive down the average. And we have to be a little bit careful. Ah, this works nicely. I'll get 2 waste storages down here. No, I won't. Why doesn't it want to connect to this one? Because this is not built in the middle. Again. And again. Let's see. I have to go from here to here. And then connect this one in the middle. Jesus Christ. For a low density housing area, this might be overkill. And that's why we're gonna build it. This area in here will be a better place for the monument, I think, because it will be able to cover everything. So we'll just have a footpath in the center of it and placing the monument right in the middle. The range of 90 meters will be just enough to cover every building. We build it here. Well, it will be able to cover some of these at least. No footpaths through there, but we still can get one out this way. Yeah. Each house holds 20 people. So if we want to get 300 people, we need 15 houses. 4, 8, 12, 15. We will probably have more housing than that. I'm enjoying this area a little bit too much. Sorry, I accidentally released my mouse button. This is what I wanted to do. A narrower corner. I wonder if we can fit a small waste storage between these houses. Wow. Well, I guess we might not need these. We can just have a bunch. We can use these for recycling at some point. Or we can have a lot of individual waste storages in places. We'll leave those. Cafe and Secure pit with less bright but longer pit stop has 2.5 seconds Formula 1. Hello balloonist. Welcome. We are building a low density housing area. Please take a seat and enjoy. I guess I'll leave this open. Probably a sports facility, just a small scale one. What footpath configuration could we do here? Can I show the Republic a bit? There's not much to it yet. We started from the Eastern Customs House, building a logging camp area. Developing into this area for our first settlement. From this settlement, we built a rail construction office that allowed us to build the existing rail line, as well as a clothing factory that allowed us allows us to make some money. With the rail construction working tirelessly to give us a basic rail infrastructure, we have hooked up our logging camp as well as an iron mine, where we export raw iron ore and as well as our lumber products with Western trains from the Western Customs House. And we're building towards an Eastern Customs House that has a rail connection, as well as extracting a tiny amount of oil with one truck, working towards an area that has more volume of oil being deposited below the ground, so we can extract that. So we're building a settlement over here. Nice train wagons, the western ones. Yeah, they are really cool. And the last bit is a very large tunnel construction that is still underway, but we're almost at 16,000 work days. In the meantime, we went over the mountain with some bulldozers and flattened the area a little bit in preparation for the town in this area, which is supposed to become a somewhat larger town. This will probably test our logistical abilities, trying to keep many people alive. And I also want to build this as a high-density residential urban area with these houses. So not tall buildings, but very densely built brick buildings, to see how this will look. But yeah, starter town is a mess with everything all over the place again. But it works. We are making a profit, even while still constructing train lines. We did have to take out a loan though, so we are constantly paying back a US-based loan right now. No loan in rubles yet, and our main currency is the US dollar right now. Every resource is handled with that, except foreign manpower, which is not a resource per se, but we're getting some foreign manpower to keep the area here from burning down, running a fire station with foreign manpower. And yeah, we're setting this area up to remove the need for foreign manpower, which is costing us 2,000 rubles per month, which is quite a bit. Do I have the low-tech rule? Yes, I do have the low-tech rule. I was able to do one research, and it was the secret police. The research before the secret police did not unlock anything, so it didn't count. I only have one research right now, because I said that I get one research each settlement, and one research every 2,500 citizens. And we only have 1,300, and our population isn't growing anymore. So we'll have to wait for a new settlement to maybe change that. Low tech and no distribution offices is the goal right now. Excavator being repaired. I think one repair truck is fine. Probably. Don't have any workers in here right now. I'll increase the amount of workers to 5. And let me check who can walk here. It's basically these 3 buildings. The small house and the 2 larger ones. 2 of them are told to go to the bus stop. And this one has a lot of highly educated workers who probably think they have better things to do than work in the repair station. So we'll tell the people from this house to work in the repair station and then send any extra workers to the bus stop. Which should ensure that we always have workers in here now. And the repair doesn't cancel for lack of workers anymore. How many people? 2,500, yeah. 2,500 per research unlock or each settlement. I thought in the maintenance building the repair vehicles are placed in the door places. Well, the 3 buildings don't have any parking lots. Oh, you mean this one? Well, if they take a truck that you can have, They drive out to other areas, but if I told this one to go repair, it will drive into the repair station and repair inside. So basically you have the mixture of vehicles inside buildings, like a technical office. The repair station will send a vehicle out to repair them in the area, whereas vehicles on lines will repair inside the repair station itself. Oh, I mean it was working. Yeah, it was working, but it was going there and there was no one working inside the repair station, so that's why I drove back home. Now it's working fine and it's repairing really quickly. There were no workers temporarily. Now it's absolutely fine. And we can go back down to 2 workers. And done. 2 workers will be fine for now. Send more workers to our money-making facilities, please. The road construction in our new settlement, Colata, has been finished. Which means that now we can build the road towards the fire station. We still need 2 construction offices here, so they can repair each other. 2 maintenance construction offices in size will do the trick again. I am sure of it. This area might be a little bit far away for central heating, and there's currently no plan to provide that. I don't have a larger town planned here, so this will have to exist a little bit longer before we hook it up to a larger town. But I think we have the ability to grow this quite large. Maybe have a higher density housing area down here. And if we start growing that with a food factory and a distillery, we could also put a heating plant in the area that deals with this area plus maybe another village. We'll see. But yeah, this looks better, if I'm allowed to say that, than the grid-like area when I first tried to build something with these houses. So I'm okay with that. This is the housing area that we will use. Sport, loyalty, heating. We still need water and sewage, which will be truck-based. We'll see. Am I better? I am feeling better, yes. Not quite super fit yet, but I think I had a cold or something more significant, more severe. I think it's going away, hopefully. So I am feeling better, thank you. Good news indeed. I like the name tag on top of the mountain. I like this. Like you scroll over the map and you see the mountain named. It's neat. Oh, we do have a new lake. We have, well, it's not going to be Oil Lake, it's going to be a different name. This is that name without all vowels. Bisbrick something. I don't know. Good news, everyone. Alright. Got it. Okay, maybe this road will not be needed. It was the original intent to have it go over this area. Might be obsolete. Not sure yet. It is almost done, so I guess we can finish that section and maybe hook something up to it at some point. Have it go across as an asphalt road. More of a main road. We'll see. Yeah, no, the icon goes down way less. And we do have the electricity connection. Maybe it was the workers, maybe it was the electricity. It doesn't really matter. It's fine. Could remove part of this mountain, I guess. But don't have anything else planned here right now. So we'll build the fire station first, then we will build the construction offices, relocate some vehicles over, and then take materials from the Eastern Customs House to build in that area. I think that'll be the plan. Our single microbus will crew the fire station. Actually, no, we will have 2 microbuses doing that. Right now we only reduced the amount of workers in the fire station here by reducing the amount of people loaded. But I think we still need 2, maybe 3 microbuses running this. And potentially a snowplow. Do you not have problems with copyright of music? I'm using music from this person, Carl Casey at White Bat Audio, that says it is fine to stream his music as long as you give him credit. So whenever I stream, I basically write that in chat to give him credit, give him a little bit of advertisement, and then I should be fine. And I also write that in the playlists on YouTube, that these playlists might contain music by this artist. And I usually only have one video that I use, which has 5 hours music. A lot of angst in Germany. Yeah, if you use German music, it is difficult. But this is not a German artist, so if you use a video by him with giving him credit, it should be fine. Oh yeah, copyright in general. Well, I guess you should also have fear in America because of that, I guess. I don't know. If my channel gets taken down, then I guess I'm not gonna stream anymore. At least not on Twitch. Or maybe I'll set up something else and stream without music. I did try and pay attention to not stream copyrighted music. I did have... Like, when you stream something that is copyrighted, usually Twitch will mute your audio of the VOD. Had a problem in the past, yeah. If you do it excessively, and if you do it with German music, it could become a problem quickly. But as I said, right now I haven't had an issue, and I just paid attention a little bit, I guess. Gravel is here, waiting on the workers. After that, or right now, on this road, then the 2 construction offices, which we can hook up with dirt roads and then upgrade to gravel one after the other, which the construction offices can handle themselves. Spain doesn't work the same. Yeah, sure. I mean, countries have a more or less strict enforcement of copyright rules to the benefit or detriment of certain factors like culture, like income security for the artists, etc. There's a lot of things that are at play here. And, well, there are a few things that have been annoying since a while. Like Disney always lobbying to extend the copyright further and further back to just not lose their copyright to Mickey Mouse. I hope at some point that is finally dealt with and we can get a more sensible view on copyright law, which wasn't intended to keep a company afloat for a century. We have a heating issue. No workers in the heating plant. I guess we also only have 3 buildings that bring workers directly to the heating plant, so you supplying workers to the repair station will also bring workers to the heating plant and at last to the bus stop, which should resolve the problem. But I guess we had like a longer time of no heating. Thankfully it only happened when we had still 12 degrees outside, so not much of a problem. Twitch has general rules of copyright which I don't want to have any problems with. Yeah, that's why I looked for Twitch safe music. sometimes there are issues where a bit of music gets claimed because someone remixed that music and then puts a copyright claim on it, but if you contact the artist, they usually take care of it. I haven't had to do that. I had a claim put on it by someone doing a remix, but it resolved itself because I assume the artist got contacted by someone else. Yep. Okay, shopping centers still fine, good capacity. But we are getting close to the capacity limit of our grocer. I want to keep 5 workers as an emergency that I can increase, so I will leave it at 10 out of 50. This is the limit that I want to use. So another grocer is probably something that I want to build. Just to have it. And this one will not get a road cargo station. This one will be a small side shop in the area where people can go to. It's not going to be the main source of food for the town. I only use one kind of music, and it is in Workers and Resources. The original soundtrack, you see that I have original and not anymore. Oh, the original music got claimed by the original artist, but not without causing any issues, so it didn't demonetize anything. They just put a copyright claim on it to test the system. There was a mention of that in one of the developer diaries, so there was no trouble with it. The original music is fine. This list of downloadable content, I don't know what DLC you mean. We have original music from Workers and Resources as downloadable content. Yes, each game does have, or many games have downloadable content, soundtrack DLCs. And you had a problem with that. Yeah, Workers and Resources does have a soundtrack. This kind, Workers and Resources, has one. Yes, it has one. You only use the Workers and Resources music. I might be misunderstanding you. Because it is original paid. Well, Twitch doesn't care. Even if you paid for the soundtrack, it doesn't mean you're allowed to broadcast it. You can play it for yourself, but you're not allowed to stream it, even if you own it. If you buy a CD from Michael Jackson or any other artist, you're not allowed to play it on Twitch. Just because you own the CD. The CD is for personal consumption, not for broadcasting. That's the difference. So it does not matter if you paid for it. The problem is if you want to broadcast it to other people who didn't pay for it. That's the main culprit. You get it. Okay. Yeah, that's the reason. Heating problem again. Is the coal truck getting repairs or something? No. Temperature and building too low. Did I also build it outside of heating range. Jesus Christ. We will have to rebuild the secret police. Actually, no. We will shut the secret police down. And we will build a small heat exchanger, which we will use in the future, but for now it'll take care of our citizens here. And my misplaced building construction in the area. I did not pay much attention to this at all, did I? Anyway, that's not going to be too much of a problem. I would like it to be closer towards the town center, so I have to spend less on the heating pipe, but I guess since it's a small heating pipe, it will not be that costly. This game, I think it will not be a problem. Some games have soundtrack that is really restrictive, so if you're buying something like an Electronic Arts or Ubisoft game, you need to be really careful. With independent games, I usually try and look it up and maybe do a test stream to see if after the stream the VOD has muted sections. That's how I approach it so far. And if I get a muted VOD, then I don't stream the music for that game anymore at all. That's basically it. Shortest heating pipe. $14 tons of steel, that's manageable. And then the heat exchanger in the future can be used by the large heating plant dealing with all of our houses, and then we'll have another heat exchanger probably over here, if we can fit that in place. I don't want to click flatten it. I could pull... can I place this here? No, it's too narrow. This would work. So I guess we don't really require any heating in this area. And this has every building covered already. The consumption should be higher than 100 cubic meters, but yeah, at least every house is in range. All these kinds of issues have norms here. It depends on the country and the artist. It is a headache, especially the own music of the games. Yeah, that's why most people just shut down the music. There is a way to add music to a stream that does not show up in the video and people do not care about it. Like when you stream it, it's fine, but when it's on a video, it's not. But don't ask me about that, I don't know. I think it's called Twitch music. That's all I know. I haven't looked at it yet. It requires a setup. It allows you to play music on a different audio track that is separate from your voice and the audio of the game. So you can play it and then in the end it just disappears. Okay. Once the heating has been set up in this area, we will re-enable workers inside the secret police, and then the problems should be gone because water and sewage are hooked up, and that's all that was left. Over here we have built the road, fire station next. We have built this road, and that means we will also build these construction offices. Let me put them a little bit more in an order that looks intentional. So probably about the same range from the road. That should work. There we go. Once we fill them with vehicles and give them an assignment, they can construct everything in this area, and we don't have to manually assign everything. They will get very small vehicles, so construction might be slow, but that's fine. And we will be building with rubles, which is a currency only used for construction, and I guess getting firefighters for the pump check. But yeah, as soon as the fire station is up, I guess we can also, once we bring firefighters here, use our regular construction offices to build towards the pump check, and get that one hooked up. We will have to set up a switch and then distribute the electricity between the town and whatever pump check we get. I don't think I want to use the high voltage wire from it doesn't make much sense. 4 more gulps of drinks and then I will leave. My back is terrible, destroyed at work today. Take good care of your back, please. That is important. Money earned from iron ore is going up. I think, well, we were making about 10,000 US dollars. Inflation seems to be kicking in, ruble prices going up as well, but we're only worried about the US dollar right now. Could run a few exports from our domestic warehouse, but I don't see the reason. We might have to. Stop and stay like the Notre Dame guy. I don't know what the Notre Dame guy is. 19 degree, okay. So perfectly still. Let me replant some trees again. I don't like logging as an early industry. At least not like a condensed industry like that. It might be fine if you have like 4 logging camps spread out, so you only need to replant trees every... Like you basically have four times the amount of time before you need to replant trees, but this is getting a little bit excessive. Oh, 90 degrees. Oh, okay. Quasimodo. Got it. Got it. This shopping center has access to everything. Excellent. The heating pipe already has all the materials for the groundwork, and then 1 delivery of steel and 1 of mechanical components, and we'll have it. Our US dollars are important because they basically keep the lights on. So I guess we will have to transfer some aluminum once. Hopefully the inflation didn't increase the price in rubles too much yet. Oh yeah, these additional housing construction projects, because I didn't plan correctly, are forcing us to spend a few extra dollars. So we'll have to spend some more cash. And then this building will finish last, notifying us when it is done, and we can turn the secret police back on. Looks like our loyalty actually went up from getting the secret police. It's now up at 35, so having that one will be nice. I have a topic, heating problems. Sure. Oh, have it. Okay, now you were. Okay, have a good day. Small heating plants near people. Oh no, you have a topic. Okay. Yeah, you can make that in the beginning, as long as pollution doesn't become an issue when the area gets too large. Yeah. And no industry on the other side, otherwise it combines. You have a heating plant here, you have a village here and you have an industry here, then both pollution clouds will combine. 3 years, and suddenly he said, eating not work. Okay. Well, too many people. Probably. Everything works fine until it doesn't, and when it doesn't work in workers and resources, things fail spectacularly sometimes. So it is a good idea to develop a little bit of a intuition of what might be running at capacity and checking things a little bit here and there. Yeah, if the heating can fail, then it might be water, then it might be electricity. Yeah. Okay, so we traded rubles for US dollars, which means the construction office workers will be a little bit delayed. I guess I could just relocate one construction office or buy both vehicles over to the new area. But we will have to build with rubles, so we have to be a bit careful. Ideally, I think I would like to build towards the oil rig, the pump jack first, to start the money or the process of earning money. So we are probably going to do that. Plan out 1 or 2 pump jacks, get the electric wire in place, hook it up to the customs house, and then run the fire station with foreign workers to this area as well, and start earning some additional cash. With trucks bought from the west though. A lot of pipes and distributions. Okay, so he assumed that he could connect all pipes and it would be fine. Yeah. Oh, well, okay. The heating plant has a specific capacity and each pipe can also lose heating, yeah. That can happen. Each jump element lost a bit of heat, yeah. I think about 8 degrees Celsius. Oh, you mean he made a very long heating pipe? I guess, yeah, that can be a problem. If you try to run one heating plant to a lot of settlements. Well, got all resources for the heating pipe. We can build that, and this one is still in the groundworks phase, but only on delivery of concrete missing. Meanwhile, we are building another grocer here to extend our capacity of shopping a little bit, because this town area is going to grow at the latest when we relocate the heating plant. The heating plant relocation will have to be done during summer or when it has to happen sometime else. We just can't run the secret police at that point, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah. There's always an exception to a rule in the game. So I would like... Okay, there's an oil field right here, and I said I will probably skip that because it's too close to the residential area. Makes 4 tons of pollution per year. And the heating plant and this one could combine into an extra pollution cloud over the residential zone, so we will skip that. Instead we will take oil from this area, I think. And over here, so these 2 spots, which probably are too far from each other, so we can't supply electricity to both of them. I think if we hook up one of them, that will already occupy plenty of trucks, 2 or 3, and give us a decent bit of income. And in the future maybe we can hook up a pipeline if we so choose to do that. But for the time being, just connecting the road is all we need. Let's follow the terrain a little bit, get the area flattened out. I would like to lower down the road. People think sometimes that I can use a small supermarket in an example for a city of 300, and even a supermarket for 3000. Yeah. I mean, the whole game is a learning experience. You assume you get a message that you need to change something, but the game just lets you basically make a mistake. In City Skylines, a certain bird would probably tell you for a very long time that you need to change something. In this game, it just tells you that people can't eat when it has happened. Well, the game is a little bit... Oh, oil price going up. Oil price going up is okay. It's logic. Well, it is still game logic. Like, the towns and cities are condensed in this. Like, one small shopping center would probably be able to deal with a decent amount of houses, but it is somewhat condensed. I am building more shopping centers these days to try and spread out the where people go, basically. Also makes it look more interesting. So, we have our town set up. The basic, not superstructure, but the basic layout of our shopping complex, which we will build later. First up, construction offices, fire station, and our money making. I think each pump jack will probably get its own electric connection. I don't think we need to try and squeeze as much oil out of the ground as possible right now. In the future we might, but right now 2 pump jacks at very high efficiency will do nicely. And this is too far away for sharing an electric connection with one substation, so let's just put one in this area and it'll be fine. Then one for our town, which we haven't placed yet. We can hook that up to our heat exchanger, since it basically shares the range of like an important connection with the housing. And then water and sewage we can just place on this footpath probably. Or inside the residential area, but we also need some water over in our shopping area and the repair station basically. Like pipes for dirty water and a big pipe for concrete plant who work maximum 5 people. Well, the pipeline for the concrete plant makes sense to have a large pipeline. So a concrete plant should have a decently sized pipe, because the pipeline is not used for drinking. The pipeline is used in the production. This one can use up to 85 cubic meters of water if it is running. So if you have 2 concrete mixers in there loading concrete, and you only have a small pipe leading into it, it might run out of water, and then the concrete mixer will leave with a not full load of concrete. So it makes sense to have a large pipe to pump as much water in there as possible and make sure that the water trucks keep running. The concrete mixer trucks. Dirty water is fine too. This only requires water quality of 55%. Doesn't make sense to hook up drinking water to your concrete plant. That would be a waste. Under the 85 cubic meters of water in the middle of the tooltip it says required water quality 55%. If you're pumping drinking water into that one with the pipes, you're doing it a little bit inefficiently. People build it for the people working there. Well, if you're pumping bad water into a water substation, then you're doing it wrong. That one should always have drinking quality water in it. Otherwise you'll have a problem. Except for the farm, there's a little bit of a... And the distillery, you could skimp on the water quality there a little bit, but it's better not to. That was quite expensive. Build it well near and finish. That's still not enough. That still makes your people sick. And on the hardest difficulty, it usually makes them really unproductive and makes your city collapse after a while. I've tried that. I've tried just drinking water out of the ground with 95%, and it did go well for a few years. People drink water at home. But if you're... I mean, if I supply a concrete plant, I just pull it out of a lake. Even if I have a water purification plant, I might just decide to grab it from here because it's so easy to set up. And it can pump out a lot of water, 150 cubic meters. Doesn't require any workers. And costs way less. Only less than a ton of steel compared to these things. So it's much cheaper. And then you spend the resources on purifying the water rather than having the expensive water pump. The water well. But the water well also, the small water well also doesn't require workers, so both work. Power connection over here, we will run through a 5x connection switch. Just so at a later point we have the option of hooking everything up to a local transformer, but for the time being 5x switch. Above ground wire. I really need to build them on the side that the wire is actually going to go to, but there wasn't a room over here. We do have the technology to actually make room, so let's use that. Just a straight line power connection. And then on this side, we'll use an underground wire. Below the heating pipe. And this will connect with, I don't know, 1.2, let's give it 1.5 megawatts to the customs house. No, that doesn't make sense. Go past here. Let's redo that from here. Go here. And then we should be able to get to the switch, most likely. There we go. Thank you, Berliners. Have a good day. See you next time. Alright. I'll provide electricity from the customs house. We'll distribute it from here into the town as well as to the pump. And then in the future, when we have a transformer built, we can hook the transformer up to this. And it will continue supplying electricity to all of our buildings. Or we could just, at that point, tear everything down and hook it up to the transformer. During summer that shouldn't be much of a problem. Okay, let's start building towards the road too. We are running very low on money, but our money is stable. If we were to stop construction, we would be okay. Still have to lay the road in the tunnel, but that's still quite far away. So there's not much to worry about just yet. Heating pipe has been built. Once the heat exchanger is up, which will cost more money, we can restart the secret police. Because right now it's a little bit cold in there at minus 10 degrees. It's nice that loyalty went up. Without the secret police it's going down again. We will handle that soon. Very soon. Just more wood. And then we can basically open up the construction site for as many workers as want to build this. And the lumber's already getting here. And there we go. Just need a road crane. And a few workers and it's done. And by a few workers I mean I'm gonna assign one building to only build this really quickly. Road crane's already getting here. And then we can restart the secret police building. And spy on our citizens. We should have enough workers now to finish the construction, so I will unassign this. Still more people walking in here, but with 30 people at 120 workdays left, this should be fine. Plenty. I think. Maybe I'm off a little bit. Maybe our average productivity is not that high for how much I'm giving them credit for. Well, it's almost done. I guess we'll wait and finish it with the people that are walking there by themselves. But yeah, once that one finishes construction, the heating tank and the temperature in our building should go up. So the heat water tank temperature is rising and the interior tank is doing the same for that reason. We'll run 6 secret agents again, now that we can. And that should help our average loyalty. Reduce the decreasing happiness from a low loyalty a little bit. Making sure that only the most loyal citizens are allowed in teaching positions. This, all of this. Don't build this. We'll build towards the residential area after we have the fire station and the oil well connected. Buying the oil trucks is going to be a little bit expensive, but we'll see how much we will have to get for them. I mean, with 1,000 rubles worth of money being made per truckload, maybe even more now because of the oil price spike. It's about 1,000. It is going to be worth it, and the other pump jack is definitely going to run much faster, to the point where we might actually relocate that truck to the other pump jack, and in the future buy another one for this one. But I might just tear everything down in this area. This is very, very slow. That's probably the better idea. Just salvage everything in this area. Even the gas station, I think. We still have to build a gas station over here. I do need the gas station for the fire station. New bulldozer with US dollars, which is not a problem. We brought workers here, supposedly. Don't see any, because it's winter and they can't get here in time, I guess. I do not have any snow plowing services in the area. So during winter, I guess construction will not work. Until we have our construction offices set up. At least we're not using foreign workers, so we're not throwing money out of the window. And when they get back, the snow might melt. It'll take a while for them to get back anyway. New grocer is up. We will have to fill it with food. And as I said, this will be an additional stop on this vehicle's route. And we'll tell it to go here now. And the same is true for the refrigerated truck. Go to the customs house, then the prison first, then this building, and then the normal unloading station. Yeah, that means we could have a similar setup in the new village, where the area spreads out over more territory, and we have like another shopping center closer to the residential buildings, so they don't have to walk as far if they only want to get food and meat, which could be useful. Population went down again a little bit, but it's still holding. We don't have a systemic issue, we just have, well, a heating plant that is a little bit too close, and we can't fill our town very well. All of this construction has been set up. We don't have the road connection here. We do have to build the switch though. Once the road to the switch is done, we can build the switch and all of the power lines from the switch. For the village, I think at most we're going to use 2 small waste trucks. There won't be very many, well, there will be very many pickups locations, but they will be very small, so the trucks will have to drive around quite a lot. But they shouldn't run into any capacity issues. It's just that when one truck wants to go to unload the waste at the unloading point, the other truck will have to take over, so they basically cycle their tasks. And also when one truck needs repairs, then the other one will have to jump in. I mean, maybe we can increase our housing. I feel like though that could create an avalanche of pollution coming from the heating plant. Sometimes it's reaching 100% capacity, so it is nearing the limit, especially since we put a heat exchanger next to it. So we're using 164% of 100, which is 164 cubic meters. I think all buildings are connected. So this gives us exactly how much we're using right now of the heating plant. So we have less than 50 cubic meters of heating capacity still left, minus maybe the loss of heating that we are getting from using a heating pipe. I don't need to build heating plants that close anymore. I can use buses. I'm still in the mode of they have to be in walking distance. I don't need to do that. Also in our new town, it doesn't need to be in walking distance. It makes it convenient, so you don't have to run a bus. But there are downsides that come with it. Should be able to get a connection here, shouldn't we? Okay, that should give the heating plant access to a few houses, especially once we tell those footpaths to all be upgraded. And that should be enough. We can probably set one house to just deal with the heating plant. 7 workers times 3 is 21, which would basically fully occupy one of the 20 worker houses for a workday. And then again, the heating plant doesn't need to run full capacity in this area anyway, since we don't plan for a lot of housing. Guess the snow did not melt yet, so these workers are not going to make it. But the next ones will. The next ones will get there. Our rail line is up to here. Maybe this is definitely, well, this is okay, probably halfway. I would estimate halfway. I was going to say 2/3, but it definitely isn't 2/3. I guess I could set this building to give me warning messages if there's missing resources. But I think our meat would get an early warning on this. So this building basically will constantly run out of meat. Maybe it would be best to just let the meat truck run around on its own all the time, to not have that happen. Sure. I don't want to run this out. I don't want this to run out of meat. Alternatively, I could just set you to a lower capacity, so actually I just need a smaller vehicle, I guess, but if I tell you to only be able to load 3.5 tons of meat, that might be enough. 3 tons. Go to prison. Maybe this will work. So it doesn't weight as much over here. Still need to make sure that it always has enough resources to at least fill the shopping center. But yeah, if we ever run out of meat in one of the areas, we can just increase the capacity of the refrigerated truck and carry more resources. have enough money to finish what I want to build. I don't know. Maybe before building the construction offices we should build the pump jack. Definitely need to earn more money. It's getting a bit tricky. Alright, next time you get here you should be able to bring the workers all the way to the location. We did already build something, so... Well, I guess we only finished the groundworks of the fire station, technically. But we did... No, we didn't finish that either. So I guess we are not sure if we actually get the workers to this area. When the snow melts, we'll have to see if the buses actually manage to bring some workers to the area and we can at least get the construction offices built. Otherwise, this is not going to work. If it doesn't work, then we just have to reassign the construction offices to pick up workers from the nearby customs house, and that will... then it will work for sure. And as soon as we have the bus stop, we can just pour workers into the bus stop. To run the fire station and build up any construction site that might show up. A few extra workers would be useful. I am not sending workers explicitly into this shopping center, which appears to be a mistake, so make sure this grocery store is also fully staffed with workers so we don't run into issues where people can't buy food. Okay, secret police is running fine. We have one heat exchanger already in place that we will need in the future, but it was a little bit early, meaning that we will have to maintain it a little bit earlier too, but should be okay. It was probably better than trying to relocate our secret police again. Alright, so there is one bus. Didn't make it, I assume. This is a very long road. I think I'm going to unassign the construction offices. Actually, no. I'm just going to build a free construction office, get a bus and pick up workers here. So I don't have to micromanage anything. We do have a newer bus available, but it costs money. And I don't know if we can afford that right now. So I'll just grab this one and repurpose it for this area, picking up workers from this customs house. At most 2 kilometers. Let's deal with everything in this area until it doesn't, and then... Okay, we don't want the heating plant right now. We only want the construction offices and the gas station and this thing. The gas station and the fire station and the switch. And the whole road. The route through the bus stop. I guess we want a few things. That bus is probably going to buy a lot of workers. Going to use a lot of money for that. But it's going to be good. If we have to take out a loan to finish this area, we will earn money relatively quickly. In the same way that we earned money with the logging camp area on the 10 pop challenge. This doesn't have any expenses, so as soon as we have a pump jack running full tilt, it will just make us a lot of rubles. And then it should be able to pay back the loan relatively quickly. Still gotta be a little bit careful, especially with US dollars, which are our construction materials. But only until we have the construction offices set up in the next village. Then everything on that side will be ruble based. They are walking all the way from over there. Which is a little bit awkward. Can we change that? Yes, we can. Ah, the snapping point. Alright. So, go from here. Into this area. Over here. I think that will improve the speed of our citizens in their free time a little bit. Might not be nice for the people having a bunch of the people living here having a bunch of people walking through in front of their windows, but hey, at least it'll be efficient. Also, we're running on reduced money-making capabilities because of the tunnel construction. If we weren't building anything else, that is. Right now we're sending workers all the way over here, which doesn't really work that well. Okay. We did actually manage to get workers over here, so I guess we will not take foreign workers, we will save the money for now. No more order searching, no more construction tasks. You will, however, get a bulldozer and an excavator, so you can... Actually, yeah, you can still order search, but no more bus for you. So you can still do construction sites, but only those that don't require workers. We'll save our rubles for now. Could bring construction materials from here with the truck in the area. Let's do that too. No dump truck though. That'll speed things up a little bit. Maybe once we have the oil field set up, we can stop exporting lumber to the east and just use the oil as a source of income on that border. Lots of people going here. Yeah, seems to be evenly, well, they seem to be alternating between the shopping centers, it looks like. One goes down, the other one goes up. That's fine. We still haven't built a orphanage. And I think building an orphanage would just drive down the loyalty even more. Because the loyalty of our citizens is already quite low, so having them educate children would mean that they would be able to pass on their negative opinions of our republic. Alright, let's bring resources to the power lines. Maybe not this one. This one is for the settlement itself, which can happen at a later point. Construction will be slow until we actually employ the bus here again, I guess. Can't build this without workers. And then on the other side of the bus stop, we have 3 more construction tasks before we get to the the oil well. I think I'm going to relocate the heat exchanger. It looks a little bit weird that close to the residential buildings. If we just build it here, we can still cover everything. And it won't be right next to the building, which will look a little bit better. And right now we still have the option to change things without affecting too much. And we'll pause the power line until we need it. Okay, fire station is being built. We will need more workers for this. But during summertime we can build. So it's probably gonna finish. Looks like you're complaining about electricity for some reason because we ran out of money. Awesome. Well, it looks like we will have to refresh our loan. We did pay back more than half of it. So actually, that's not bad. But yeah, we will have to get another 750k loan. Pay this one back. And that will leave us with a lot of money. I guess we're going to continue bringing resources there with US dollars. And just taking some workers with rubles. That will probably be better. So we aren't broke. We are just indebted. Which isn't great either, but you know. At least we can still build things. And once this area is up and we have our pump check set up, maybe I should build a road from here. And we can get to the pump check faster, it'll look a little bit more realistic. No elevation difference, please. We're going to cut through that terrain. And then we'll hook up to this road. Okay. That means this one will still happen, but isn't urgent. And we don't need to build the bus stop technically. So, yeah. Just have to build 2 more road segments and we're at the pump check. Cool. Maybe we'll change this to a farming area. We'll leave the fire station here, get a large farm up, bring some workers. I don't know. I don't think we need any of this. For now. Like, having this set up with the electricity and the gas station is still nice, but the fire station and the pump check won't be necessary for a while. The fire station might be at some point if we have an industry in the area and we want to keep it safe. But yeah, for now, not going to be necessary. That is a lot of students not getting an education. Still at 73. But I guess I might now have assigned every building that can reach the party HQ. Or the loyalty is just the loyalty requirement. No, the loyalty is not the problem. We do have enough party officials. The problem is not enough staff. So it is not enough workers, I guess. Previously, I guess these people were maybe working in there. I'll unassign the bus stop from you and send you here. And then I guess reassign the bus stop because we always need an out if there's too many workers. And then we'll tell you to go to the bus stop. And at some point the other buildings are going to complain because we are sending too many people away from it. And then I'm going to go, oh, I'll unassign everything and it's going to be fine. And then something's probably going to break, most likely the grocers. But yeah, let's get an education to our citizens right now. I think with 73% we are still good. I mean, you have almost finished your education, but too bad. There you go. And I guess if we're forcing people to go here, then maybe having it set up to the highest amount is not a good idea. We'll set it to 15-15. And it will be always staffed, so hopefully that will be enough. One construction office is done. Everything will come from this customs house. And every vehicle for the construction office will come from one of our construction offices. Search range 3 kilometers. And you can start working. You should be able to refuel, but you will have to go over here for now until we get the other gas station plus electricity hooked up. And the second construction office will be relocated later. And then we'll have to buy some new vehicles for these at some point. Hopefully with the income we're going to make from the settlement at the western border. Exporting only to the west, at the eastern border, exporting only to the east. I don't know if I like the idea of the microbuses here. They're going to use up a lot of money really quickly. But then again, we are going to only build towards the pump check right now. Gas station is fine. Construction office is fine. The rest is... and the fire station, and this is fine, but the rest is off limits for now. This road is off limits once you get to it. I'll just go over here. I don't think we're gonna finish this today because, well, I guess we're almost out of time. But next time we should be able to run an oil export fairly early. No fuel station in range. Well, I guess we will have to build that with our existing construction offices, which isn't great. You have to... Actually, you don't. Let's increase the priority. We still have one construction office on the western border. If we finish the construction of the gas station, I guess I could just use a free gas station temporarily. And then tell our truck up here on the other gas station to bring some fuel over. Temporarily. Until we get the other one set up. Hello Hailstorm, welcome. It's tasting well, thank you. I got my designated ration of the day. And it is lovely. Mild temperature, average texture. It's perfect. So the fire station has the priority, the gas station has the priority. Then the electricity. And the fire station, and we should be safe. And the fire station isn't very close to the pump check. But it should still be enough, I believe. This distance would have been greater. Maybe we can have a third road go here to just shorten this section a little bit. And give us a little bit of an area where we can build more things. Is the color the usual shade of pale gray? Actually, it's slightly darker gray with some light gray spots in it. They went really overboard today. It's crazy what the cooks are coming up with these days. This person will finish the construction of the fire station. We will just relocate the fire truck, both fire trucks, from over here. And I think I'll start demolishing this. No, I will wait until it either burns down or we have the other station set up and I can remove the ruins. Either remove the ruins when it burns down or just start bulldozing it once we don't need it anymore when the other one has been set up. For now it will keep running. We only need the fire station until we actually... Well, the construction office might burn down, but until we have the... pump check set up. Got a little bit of fuel in here, which means the construction office can now work fine and assist our local construction tasks, mainly bringing workers to construction sites. Our bus on this end, I'll bring back. I'll bring back to its designated area in the construction office. So I guess we're not taking any workers for construction tasks in here anymore. Until the construction office gets back, and then it probably takes a lot of workers to the tunnel construction. But for now we will have a few extra workers inside the clothing factory and mine. Earning us a bit more money. Most of the time at least. Okay, the amount of students is going up again, and we're down to 67%. I'm not sure why our party officials aren't able to keep up with it. I don't want to run this at 2020. This feels too many workers. But I guess we do have 1,400 citizens. Almost. Got another delivery of fuel. Working well. Still waiting on the gas station. And it looks like a bus full of workers is heading here right now, finishing the switch. Domestic workers even. Foreign workers on the gravel road leading to the gas station. I also just realized that we have to get over here to get the power connection. So we'll have to use the free gas station for a little while longer, I guess. But we can change that soon. I have an idea that is completely nonsensical. There we go. I just scrolled past that and thought, there could be something in between the railroad and the road itself. And I just went for it. Do we really have to run? No, it can't be. Why are you guys so inefficient? We need to finish the educations faster. Get the people into their workplaces faster so we get more work out of them. I am going to increase it to 20 and 20 again, in the hopes that more workers will arrive and education will go somewhat faster. Might also lead to all of the highly educated workers who were previously working in staff slots to go into the party official slots, leaving the staff understaffed. Or it might be fine. Another round of tree replanting. Hopefully with actually replanted trees. Can't wait until we get the automatic tree replanting researched. Still quite a while away, but once we get it, and this turns into a nice automated operation, I can take my mind off it. Right now, whenever I scroll over it and I see a huge open area, it's a little bit painful. How is the meat truck? You have plenty of meat in there, and yeah, probably still a bit too much. This will run out before you run out over here, I guess. I don't want the meat truck to constantly drive around, but might not have an option. The other option would be to load meat from this road cargo station and bring it over here, so they basically would transfer meat from one road cargo station to another, from one vehicle to another inside the road cargo station, but that also feels wasteful. We do have more options now. I don't know. It's definitely not going to stay with us after its first service because it's too costly. Either the RMN or the ZIL will probably replace it in the future. Or we can just get a second vehicle and run 2 routes and then wait inside the prison. But that would leave no more space for the prison buses, so it also wouldn't work. $7,000 rubles left. Money is still decreasing. We're building faster than we're making money. But right now the only construction task we have still left is the road construction over here. This power line, which has all the resources already on site. And the gas station construction, which 4.5 tons of steel are going to be somewhat expensive, but it should be manageable. Set up some traffic signals, or traffic signs I should say. Everything is in order. Everything in place, making sure vehicles don't slow down too much, even though it doesn't really affect them that much on gravel. It's still gonna be better. Oh yeah, we're also still building our rail line. That is also still happening. The further we get away from our rail construction office, the slower it's gonna get. But it is a constant process, and at some point we will get to the other border, we can buy an EDK, things are going to be much better at that point. And not right now though. Yeah, it looks like the one train car doesn't load with the other one, loads after the fact. But it doesn't load very slowly. Still loads as fast as we're making planks, so it's not a problem. And even if it was slower, it would still not be a problem. Alright, so the amount of meat in here was still too large. We'll cut it down by another half ton. Because we did run out before the truck went on its way again. Hopefully this will be better. I mean, for a larger town we might have to resort to just a constant route of vehicles running instead of parking spaces. Parking spaces do take up quite a bit of space, but I guess they are safe. Like, we can have 4 trucks waiting here for just food or meat. It wouldn't be terrible. A warehouse with a road cargo station might be quite safe. And then I guess we could have forklifts connected to the warehouse again. But yeah, it'll take a little bit of space if we ever get to our large town area down here. Hooking up the intended shopping center to its storage items. Construction gets really slow when you get far away from your construction offices. Thankfully we still get gravel deliveries from our larger gravel trucks every now and then. But it does take a while. Power lines have been built. So only the gas station left. Which... do I want to finish that right now? I guess we'll do the groundworks and then pause it. Because it won't be used anyway until we get electricity in the area. So we'll wait for the remaining gravel delivery. Actually, there's no gravel delivery happening right now, so let's just pause it. And finish it at a later point. Focus on the gravel road leading to the pump check. And we'll start earning money again. One train is currently unloading, logging train. I wish I could change the train car colors right now. I would make them alternate colors like the iron ore train. But I guess it's nice to have a mix of trains, some with alternating colors, some with a single block of color. There's someone with a personal car driving to a building. And there wasn't even anyone in the car. We have self-driving cars. I guess we'll have to run it at 2020 and we'll be okay. So yeah, I think next time Colata will probably start being built and becoming populated. But this is going to be it for today. Because I'm a little bit tired, so I will end it a little bit earlier. So we didn't build... well, at some point we were going to run out of money. First we built a logging camp, then we built an iron mine. And now we have to build some infrastructure leading to the next village so that we may extract some resources to the east. And in the future we will have a train station here, aggregating all of the oil onto the train and carrying it probably to the west as well, since oil is a resource that should be exported to the west, because the price you get for it, while it might seem higher, in rubles. Inflation will change that at some point. But yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Take care of yourself, stay healthy, and as always, maybe I will see you next time.